track to him.
Somebody needs to watch Mr. Boyles. He's almost tripped several times inside and here.
Okay. Could you get that? I'm recording this.
I am absolutely not believing this. I cannot believe this. Of course, I appreciate the invitation for being here. This is not about me, this is about you. You are Baker High School. You are Baker High School. I loved you then, and I love you now.
We love you too.
And as long as anyone of this group is living, Baker High School will never die.
Yes!
I want to tell you a little Oscar story. Several girls came to me one year, and they wanted to take a trip to Atlanta on a bus to hear a trio at Six Flags. So I agreed on the basis that they allowed me to chaperone. And to my consternation, it wasn't long before they had 3 buses to go. And before we left, I told them to eat everything they were going to eat at Six Flags because it would be late and the parents would be waiting in the parking lot. So they agreed. And you know what happened. As soon as Six Flags closed, all of the students were dying of malnutrition. I said, all right, where do you want to go? They said, we want to go to Hamburger Heaven. And of course, you know where Hamburger Heaven is. It's in downtown Atlanta, the Varsity. All of you have been to the Varsity. We got to the Varsity and the roll was called. It was a horror of mine to leave any student off of the bus going back, of course. So all of the roll calls were taken. Just before the buses were to pull out, we had an unusual event happen. I was standing at the far end so I could see across the viaduct over to Georgia Tech. I didn't want someone's sweetheart showing how strong and brave he was standing on that railing. So I was up the front looking to make sure no one was on that viaduct going across. And lo and behold, on the far end, all the students were on the bus. This man came dancing around the end, the lower parking lot of the Varsity. He was completely nude. He didn't even have shoes on. So he came dancing by the buses sideways. And I was saying, hey, you can't do that. Hey, you can't do that. And obviously he was having a great time. Had a big smile on his face. And the girls just piled off of those buses, laughing. They took in chasing him. The man came right past me. And I was hoping he would make it. Those girls were close on his heels. We had 3 or 4 girls in that group that could pick them up and lay them down. And he passed me, he looked over his shoulder in abject horror. He said to himself, I gotta go. And he headed for Georgia Tech. He made it to the top of the stairs, dashed inside, and the girls quit chasing him. They came on back. Several of them were upset with me. I got involved. They said, Mr. Boyles, why didn't you grab him or trip him? He came right past you. I said, that's all I needed. If y'all take pictures of me wrestling a naked man in downtown Atlanta.
Are you telling me the truth or not?
No.
It took about 35 or 40 minutes to get those girls on the buses. They were mad with the boys. We had a couple of state champion track men on there. They got one of the boys out and they said, Mr. Boyles, why didn't you make him help us? He could have caught him. He said, I wouldn't have touched him with a 10-foot pole. So, I wanted to tell you, I appreciate so much you inviting me. I always try to come to everything that involves bakery in any way. I know how much it meant to you. I know how much it meant to me. We have several people I'd like to recognize. We had a great faculty in all areas of the school. I'd like for Mr. Stewart to stand. Mr. Stewart, one of the great biology teachers. I'd like for Mr. Grice to stand if you're here. Wayne Grice. All right, Bob Liebendorfer. He put English in the English department. Great teacher. We had many others that are probably not here today. Colonel Bender. You remember, yeah. You remember Colonel Bender.
Relax.
He put 3 feet in the yard ruler, I'll tell you that. Paul Messick, that got many of you your first jobs. Did a great job. Some of them that are probably not here. Foster Watkins did a great job in guidance.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Ms. Radecki. You remember Ms. Radecki?
Should have brought my tripod out here and set up for this. But I should have brought my tripod out here and set up for this.
Some of our other teachers who may be here that I'm not naming. We had one teacher, they gave her their desk when she retired. I think most of you know who that teacher is. She did a great job teaching all of you how to sew. Ms. Griner. Elva's here. I don't know whether Elva ever learned how to sew or not, but Mr. Massey. Mr. Massey. Raise your hand, please. And once again, I want to tell you from my heart how much I appreciate you inviting me here and allowing me to be a part of your celebration. You did far more for me probably than I ever did for you. Of course, I was closer to some of the boys than I was to others, if that makes sense. That is true. But I cannot testify to the truthfulness of some of these Oscars that were handed out. So I deeply appreciate you allowing me to come here. Thank you. I feel honored.
Hey, if any of y'all like I am and don't know what consternation is, I guess I have to ask Mr. Liegendorfer.
Should I stop now?